Holy, bro, what was that shine? Oh my, you guys see that? Bro, we got flashbanged literally. For some strange reason, Promea is growing on me. If you guys remember my history of characters' designs that I said I didn't like, yeah, I ended up pulling one, Chingy, two, Seed. She had a bakery that convinced me, I'm not gonna lie.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Might actually be surprised, but 3, Zhu Yuan, or you could, if you want to go in order, because when she like came out, you could probably say she's 1. And Zhu Yuan, I shit you not, I was like, she looks like an NPC. Like when I like, because you remember like the beginning of the game and stuff, the beta or whatever, and the animations or whatever. I looked at her, I was like, you know, she kind of looks like an NPC. I was like, huge chest though. I was like, you know, kind of looks like an NPC. And I remember I said that, and then there was a story that we got, and we played as Zhu Yuan. When I played her, and I did her combat in that story, I was like, oh my god, this is the most funnest character I've ever played. And I was like, man, she's more fun to play than Ellen, because you know I had Ellen, obviously. I was like, this character is more fun to play than Ellen. I was like, I hope I get enough pulls to get this character. And still to this day, it was the greatest 50-50 win ever for some reason. Because I guess it's because I like really wanted the character. I loved her design, and then we found out that, you know, she's Officer Booty on duty. She had that bakery. She was pretty crazy. That's besides the point. When I was pulling for her, I didn't have like a crazy amount of pulls, so I think I had enough to go for her one time, I believe. And once I was like in there, I hit it, S rank, won the 50-50. It just felt so fucking good. I was like, holy shit, like it felt so good. And then I loved this character for a very long time, until, you know, she's not meta anymore. And the only useful thing is her bakery, because she ain't getting no buffs. And now with Pyrosis existing in the game, yeah, Ether Attacker, GG's, 07 to Zhu Yuan. I'm not gonna lie, I was low-key, I know I said people switched up on Yanagi, because you know, they said she looked like an NPC. I'm not gonna lie, I was low-key kind of in there. It's just a little bit. I said, you know, she looks a little bit like an NPC, but I'm not gonna lie, she has 2 really big personalities. Pretty nice. So I'm not gonna lie, even though I said some of those things, I kind of did like her design, and I was somewhat on the fence of thinking of pulling her still, regardless. Like, I seen her weapon and everything. You know, she's got glasses. Glasses waifus are always hot. I wear glasses too. I was about to say I'm hot. I mean, true. I don't mean to brag or anything. No, I'm just playing. Her weapon being like a Naginata and shit, and her being like lightning, and she's got like, you know, the samurai plating thing on her shoulder. I was like, I think I might like this character. And then I seen her gameplay, and I was like, holy shit. When I first seen her gameplay, blew my damn socks off. And then you know, we ended up pulling that character. This is another character that has to go on that list. I know this is your favorite character, Fione. The context is character designs that I didn't like at first, and then I ended up pulling and liking them. Alright, I didn't like at first, I'm not gonna lie. It was her splash art, maybe. For some reason, I didn't really like the splash art or anything. I didn't really like the splash art. And I was like, you know, I might skip the character, but, you know, at the same time, she was an anomaly support. So I was like, you know, maybe I might not skip her, just because I love my anomaly units, and I have literally the whole anomaly roster. And as I like did the story and everything, I grew to like this character a lot more, and I kind of appreciated her design a lot more. Ended up liking her a lot more, and I come to the realization that maybe it was the 2D art that I was hating on, because this is actually a pretty good design that she has. And I'm not gonna lie, another thing that did sway me, you know it, I know it, she's got pantsuits showing in her swimsuit and cheeks. Like, come on now. Like, come on now. That's besides the point. don't know. I've heard people go as far as to say that she's like one of the best designed characters in 2X, or the best. Now, as for Chingy, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I didn't really like her design too much. I was like just another small character. And then, like, you know, her weapon, I looked at it more, and I remember I tried her gameplay, and she was probably the most fun stunner. I still think she is one of the most fun stunners to this day. Like, she's just a ridiculous fun stunner. But when I like first tried her, I was like, as well, like just like the others, where I was like, you know, small character. Her weapon looks cool. It looks like the triple nunchuck thing. I don't know what that's called. You guys let me know. And I thought that was pretty cool how her staff went to that nunchuck thingy. And then her gameplay was just super fucking fun. I was like, oh my god. And then I ended up pulling this stunner, and you know, I ended up liking her design a little bit more. You know, she's cute. But that's basically how I ended up pulling Chingy. Now, as for Seed, the one thing that deterred me from this character, one, obviously the design, and then two, the foot fetishers. And by the foot fetishers, the people going crazy talking about her feet or whatever, because, you know, obviously she shows it in the ultimate, and then that one thing just ultimately probably made me not want to pull the character at all. I was like, I'm heading to feet. But then there was a surprise from behind. I didn't realize this character had a whole ass bakery. Like, she legit has a whole ass bakery back there. And I shit you not, that shit legit claps together just like triggers. Like, if you there's a clip, and I'm gonna play the clip for you. Seed cheeks legit clap together just like triggers. And that shit is crazy work. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't the only factor that got me to pull, obviously. Her story was amazing. Really, really good story quest. I know it made some people cry. It didn't make me cry at all. But that quest was beautiful. All those factors are what led to me to ultimately end up pulling Seed. And I forgot to mention, some people said her gameplay was a little bit boring. You know, hold down, click, or whatever. I played her. At first, I said it probably looked like it was a little bit boring, but then I actually grew to like her gameplay a lot, and I actually think it's pretty fun and not boring. And doing like that trial and everything, I enjoyed a lot of parts about her, and even her ult when she goes in like the first person like mech shit, I actually thought that was kind of cool, and that ultimately made me want to pull the character as well. So like all those factors added up, and that's how I ended up pulling Seed. I've told Chad I was skipping this one. Who knows? Maybe next day you might see Promea on the account. As going on is another design that I didn't really like, which is kind of growing on me. Not for reasons, but let's just hope you don't see her on the account eventually. But that's the designs that I went from hating to liking, and how I eventually ended up pulling them. I guess you could say I'm a bit of a hypocrite, but you guys let me know if you were the same, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and that'll be it.